Okay, hi everyone, and welcome to Book Club with Bay. I am Bay, and this is Bay. Say hi, Bay.
Hi, Bay.
And this is other Bay. Say hi.
Hello.
And today we're talking about Dark Flame by Alison Noel, which is the fourth book in the Immortal series.
How many are there?
There are six.
Oh God, we're
so we got two more.
We're so
and
close.
if I recall correctly, is this where I gave up?
No, you gave up halfway through last book.
Okay.
You gave up when Thingy was like, "Why don't you just go bang a dude?"
Yeah,
but he didn't. Doesn't he do that this book?
Nope.
No,
He didn't do that in this book. That was last book.
Why don't I remember him doing it last book, and why do I only remember him doing it this book? That doesn't. You know what?
Because this series kills brain cells.
But my brain is telling me that's not what happened. But that's fine.
This book had conversations between her and Jude where he was like, "I want it to be a fair fight," and she goes, "Well, you've already lost the fight."
I think it's because there are more conversations between her and Jude in this book than there were last book, because I think I was waiting for like Damien.
Oh God.
Is it Damien or Damon?
It's Damon.
Damon.
I think I was waiting for her and Damon for Damon to say that to her when her and Jude were talking more, because
you might be thinking that because Jude does find out about their past in this book. That might be why you're thinking of it.
Yeah, probably. You know what? It doesn't matter. In any case.
This is the book after you rage quit. And
right,
I almost wanted to rage quit this book.
And fair. You know what? I was also
because of Roman. I was this close to DNFing.
Here's the thing. Like from my first rage quit, I did not. Going into this second go around, I did not even recall that Roman was a person, which is weird.
He's so annoying.
He is
I'm so happy.
Annoying.
Well,
the only three people I remembered four people from our first go around, and that was Ava, Ever, Damon, and Jude. I did not remember Jude's name though.
Jude is still fucking ruined for me because of you guys telling me he has dreads. He's still ruined, and it was all every time he was on screen, it was all I could think about, and I was like, I want to be happy because I'm not talking to Damon right now, but I can't be happy because this boy has dreadlocks. So thanks, guys.
So I think real quick we should do a road so far, because it's been a very long time since we've talked about this.
Yeah.
But before we do a road so far, we should definitely do ratings. So food ratings, guys.
They're like your peas as a kid, because like you don't enjoy it. You don't enjoy them. Actually, no. I'm gonna be more specific. They're like my dad's peas when he was a kid, because he didn't enjoy them, but he had to eat them. And the stories he would get from trying to get out of eating his peas lasted him a lifetime of wolves. And that is just like I'll give you an example, because I can't just say that without.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm confused.
Okay, so Dad hated peas.
Okay.
And growing up, he was the oldest, and he worked out that if he told his mom he needed a drink of water to wash his peas down because they were that gross, she would let him. And he would go and get a coffee mug. And after each mouthful of peas, he would take a sip of water, except he wasn't sipping his water. He was spitting peas into the mug. And this went on for months. And he got out of eating his peas for months until his brother, who is so stupid, like just in general as well, but this, asked him how he did it. And Dad told him. And so he's like, I'm going to try that. But he got a clear glass.
Stupid. So basically a meal that or a thing that you would do literally anything to get out of eating.
Yes, but again, and the stories and like because these books are fun to talk about, but they're not fun to read.
No, they're not.
No, they're
My
not.
gosh. I finished this book at 7:42 a.m. this morning because I woke up at like 6:30 and I was like, I can't sleep. I'm gonna read this instead.
I was putting off reading this damn book for so long. I started yesterday, like just before dinner, and just listened to it on 2.5 speed, and finished like just like at about midnight. And I'm just like, I'm sorry, but the questions about whether or not someone may or may not have eaten these parents, that's just more interesting to me right now. And so I was putting it off, listening to all that stuff, catching up because I've been busy this week. And then I'm like, I really need to read this book, so I did, and I didn't want to, and I didn't enjoy it. I did forget about the ending though, but then as soon as it happened, like, that's right, that happens. Because next book is when Haven is really batshit bananas crazy. I told you she gets worse
so much.
I told you she gets worse.
How does she get more batshit
punch her in her
bananas crazy than she is right now?
Because now she's vengeful. She thinks, spoiler alert,
for a 10 or 12-year-old book, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's pissed off that because she thinks that Eva killed Roman and she's in love with Roman, even though she's not, because that's not how love works, you weirdo. You're obsessed with him.
No one's in love with anyone in this fucking book. No one.
I think Damon's in love with Eva. I think that's about it.
He's obsessed with Eva.
Is he?
I think he's obsessed with her, but I don't think he's in love with her.
Is he really?
I think the thing that made you rage quit shows that it's more of just a mere obsession with her. Because had it been nothing more than obsession, he would not have been okay with. I mean, also if he loved her, he shouldn't have been okay with her being with someone else. But I guess it still has some of that, if you love someone, set them free type vibes to it, as opposed to if I can't have you, no one can, which is more obsessive.
I just hate him. I hate literally everyone in this book except for one person, and we didn't even get to see her this book, and it's Riley. I like Riley.
I like Miles.
No.
I like Miles.
Miles can eat shit and die.
I think he's fine. Like, I don't love him, but I don't mind him.
He wasn't in this book, so he was in like 2 scenes.
Yeah, and I think he's gonna know the secret next book because he knows everything but the secret.
Maybe it's because of the silly gay voice that the audiobook narrator gives him. I
think he's just like the standard Naughties series gay best friend character. They're fine. I think they're fine.
They're always. Here's the thing, though. They're always useless. They're never like fun or like interesting or whatever. They're just there. They're just there to be like the gay best friend, and they're there for the author to be like, see, I know things. I'm progressive. Here's a gay guy.
I'm trying to work out if he actually does end up playing a role once he. Also, the last book is going to feel so pointless to you. The last book is going to be so pointless because I remembered how next book ends.
All these books are pointless.
No, but the last book's going to be extra super duper pointless.
Oh God!
Great.
And the last book has the cringiest thing. Like, I cannot wait for you guys to get to the. To get to it. I've just been waiting because I can remember when I experienced that scene for the first time, and I'm just like, why is this happening? Why is this happening? This is like. If this was, I feel like Bay is going to be barfing as she's listening to that scene because it's the corniest of the corny.
Great, love that for us. All right, so okay, I
you
guess
guys need to give your food ratings.
Oh crap!
Questionable food in the fridge. My questionable, I mean, like, is it still good to like consume or is it not? and then you try it anyways, and you're like, no.
That was a bad choice.
And you put it straight in the fucking trash can where it belongs.
I might have used this already, but I'm gonna go with like really awful frozen pizza.
I think you used this at least 5 times.
No,
Yeah,
I have
fine.
I have a new version of it. Okay, like
Okay.
really awful frozen pizza where like you think like you kind of know the brand is shitty, and not only have you made a bad brand choice, but also you've misread the label. And so there is also like now an experimental sauce on the pizza, and it's very weird and
Like a cream-based one, because let's be honest,
No,
anything
this one
cream-based
time,
that's
like,
frozen is bad
I
choice.
accidentally bought like beer sauce. It was
That's
very
so weird.
It was super weird. I did not like it. It was upsetting, honestly. And so yeah, so like you misread the label, so you think you're just getting like pepperoni. You're like, it's gonna be shitty but fine. And so then you just have like unexpected surprise after unexpected surprise, and there shouldn't be one because it's a fucking frozen pizza.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's a new
You
variant.
expect just mere mediocrity when you buy a frozen pizza.
Yeah.
But no, it's not just mediocrity. It's upsetting mediocrity.
And you know what I will say with frozen pizza? Let's change
That's
it for
the
a second.
Goodreads review.
There's 2 kinds of mediocrity with frozen pizza. There's the trusty one that for some reason you're kind of addicted to. And that's
Yep.
the cheap, shitty one, right? Like, I don't know what brands you have there, but here it's McCain's. Like just your standard McCain's frozen pizza. But then there's the ones where they try to get fancy and you look at the box and you're like, that actually looks delicious.
Yep.
And then you have that and it's kind of just bland. That's the disappointing mediocrity one. But then there's the addictive one. And I want our next book to just be a McCain's pizza. Like you just want it to be like blissfully mediocre.
We are just over a month out from No Blood Air coming out, and the next Jenny Castile Poppy.
I am less about the next Jenny Castile Poppy book.
I know that
I'm just so disappointed after the first book, because the first book, it wasn't just a good Jenny book, it was just a good book.
It was a really good book, yeah.
And then the second book was just
and then as soon as they boned, it was all over.
See, I still like it, so I'm excited.
They don't have the bands anymore, and it's all just about...
They don't, but also they're separated now. He's in prison.
That's right.
That's why there's hope for this one for you guys, because he's in prison.
Yeah. Again, though, I mean, in my opinion, the problem is that, like, in her head, this was a romance, and the problem with a romance with more than one book is always that you got the characters together, and so now
they didn't even get together in the first book, though.
At the very end.
Yeah, they
didn't get together.
They banged.
No, no, not in the first one. In the first one,
I swear they banged
at the end of the first one. No, the end of the first one. No, they did have sex, but then he was like, "I'm not Hawk, I'm Castile." So then the second book was getting them together.
Yeah, but
but their relationship
at that point.
Yeah, but their relationship was in a mostly fine place by the end of the first book, and it could have been handled a lot differently, in my opinion. And the risk of doing book 2 bullshit is that through the book 2 bullshit, what you're telling me is that these 2 people should just like go find someone else, and just not be together at all, because you're both toxic. You're driving each other crazy. You're driving me crazy. Fuck other people.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
This series didn't have book 2 bullshit. This series had book 3 bullshit.
This series has every book bullshit.
Series. No.
Actually, yeah, they had a stable relationship.
No, because they break up and get back together 6 times a book. Like,
yeah, that's right. But book two was he was brainwashed the whole book. So yeah, no, there was book 2 bullshit. Then there was book 3 bullshit where they
There's
couldn't
book 1
do
bullshit too.
touch. And then this one, she had the Beast. I think the only book in which they have a stable relationship, possibly
Is the
next book,
first
I'm not
one.
sure, but
Oh.
no, the first one was that whole like, I hate you. How could you have done this to
Oh,
me?
that's
Bullshit.
right.
And he's keeping
Yeah.
secrets from me.
Break up and get back
I
together even in the first book.
Yeah, I don't know if they're
Oh, yeah, I
stable
know
in
she
book
became an
5.
alcoholic. I remember.
Yeah, I don't know if they're stable book 5, but I think they're stable book 6 because they're united on a quest.
The new collection is 2 cremes and 3 seemingly iridescent toppers.
Did she like show the whole collection?
No, Facebook. It's a post on Facebook. It says 2 new cremes plus 3 new shimmering toppers in a brand new hollow taco formula.
Okay, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
I iridescent. I'm fun. I'm happy. I'm excited for iridescent if it is.
Yeah, me too. I'm not surprised that it's 2 crumbs and 3 toppers.
Yeah. Anyway, should we?
Okay. So the road so far.
Yeah, we need
okay,
the characters.
but only the
I'm
relevant
kind of
information.
giving you some hints.
So real quick, our main character, her first name is Ever, her last name is Bloom, her name is Ever Bloom. We should all kill ourselves. Okay, that's a joke. But
We all hate her. She's a whore.
Um,
This book, she pissed me off so much. So many
she's a
times.
piece of
She made me
shit.
so mad.
So anyway, Ever Bloom is currently a psychic immortal lady.
Yes.
She grew 10 feet previously, so she is
But
also
she's only
16.
5'8".
Okay, well, she's 16 feet tall canonically.
Literally,
look,
yes.
Look,
Like, how
every
short
day,
was she before she had the juice? Because, like,
3'2".
in one of the books, I don't remember which one at this point, it was like every day I was growing like 10 inches, and
She's like,
that's what it said.
every
So I
day.
can only assume this stupid whore is now 16 feet tall, and that's what I'm going with. So please imagine that in your head.
Yes.
That's the image you should be reading these books with. This dumbass whore is 16 feet tall. Weirdly, not the other immortals, though. We don't get any of that sort of description that they're like freakishly tall. I don't know why. One would think, but no. So
I would think that
anyway,
boyfriend would be like 6'5" or something.
You have Ever Bloom, who is blooming to 16 feet tall. You have Damon.
He sucks. That's
who
it.
is
He sucks.
who BFFs with Picasso. And good
He
at
taught Picasso how to
paint.
He's just good at
Look at
everything.
TJ's
I don't know. There's nothing else.
I mean, in his defense, he's had what, like 600 years to practice painting. Like, I feel like if anyone had 600 years to practice painting,
that
might
be
be
really good. They'd be really
sure. Good. But that doesn't mean you would have met both Van Gogh and Picasso.
And taught both of them.
First of all,
and Da Vinci.
Picasso at least was famous during his lifetime. That's fine. Van Gogh was not.
Van Gogh was hated his life. He was a poor little man.
And thirdly, Da Vinci in his lifetime was somewhat connected in Milan or Florence. I can't remember which one at this point. Which I should. Florence. Okay.
Florence.
Okay. Which Rudolph.
I'm the one that should know that.
my capstone professor right now would murder me for not knowing that. Sorry. But like he was well connected in Florence, but not like outside of Florence.
No, he was only really famous in Italy because he was still famous. He was famous in Rome.
Right. So, but like Italy isn't Italy at this point anyway. So like this is not a super expansive, like these are not world famous people at this point. So the idea that he's just flitting around finding all these famous people,
finding the people that are gonna be famous,
they're not famous yet.
Maybe his is it tutelage? Is that the word?
Yes.
No, I don't.
Yes, maybe his tutelage is what made them famous. Okay, maybe had it not been for him, if it had not been for Damon August, they would not have become famous. So really, we really have to thank him. We really have to thank him.
I don't
As
know
an
what
art
this is.
historian, I hate this.
As a historian, I reject this in any case. So, moving on from there, we also have her two stupid best friends.
Oh God,
Haven.
are they?
I don't
You know what?
mind
Haven's
Miles.
horrible.
Leave him alone.
I don't know
Miles
how
is fine, but Haven
Haven is
needs
the
to die.
worst, and she's even
They
worse
say
this
Miles
book
is
because
fine.
last book.
I
Haven
dislike
was still
Miles.
close to death.
I just find him annoying.
He's
So
fine. He
you
just
Miles,
wants hairspray. It's fine.
He's just fucking around in Italy
he's
right
just
now. Okay.
pointless. Okay, so
He is.
I guess he's
Whatever.
less offensive than Damien,
Yes, he's so
Well,
much less
yes,
offensive than
there's
and
Damien.
not.
definitely
Like-
much less offensive than Jack.
he
Oh
hasn't
my God.
pranced gaily anywhere, so that's a plus.
He doesn't die singing "Defying Gravity."
Does he get
In a
get stabbed
tree.
by a tree? That's
I kind of
true.
want to reread House of Night because they're so bad and it's just fun to read them.
Oh, honestly, if you ever, I will say, if you are ever writing a book, right, House of Night is actually really good inspiration because it makes you think of all the things that you could do better, and then you strive to do
Yes.
them. So
Yes.
if you're anyone wanting to write a book, just listen to House of Night on audiobook while you're jotting your ideas down.
Dude, it's so bad. I love it.
And
the
tip
face.
number one,
Okay.
do not have your MC be in relationships with like 5 different people in the first book and a half, and then have her get self-righteously offended whenever everyone's like, hey, maybe you're a little bit too promiscuous.
I keep trying to get Christian's sister to read House of Night because she would read the crap out of it and love every minute of it. But she's like, no, like that's like 14 books. And I'm like, yes, that's why you should do it.
Well, it's more. It's more when you think about it because there's
like 7.
there's-
Oh yeah, there's the
the
novellas.
novellas. There's part 2.
Uh,
The novellas aren't
Nothing has
super
been as
necessary,
bad.
though.
no,
But you don't get the full House of Night experience unless you read all of the overly redundant stuff.
remember when we were listening to Colonna's Fall and we were like, "There's no way that Cass wrote this," because the beginning was actually good, and we were like,
Yeah,
"There's
well,
no
yeah, 'cause we
way."
were, where were we? What were we doing? Oh, we were
We were going to
driving
Myrtle.
to Myrtle Beach, yeah, and we were reading it in the car.
And we were just like, "There's no fucking way," because the first chapter was actually decent.
And then we were like, "Oh, the
times.
cats picked it up here." Anyway,
Yeah, we're like, the ghostwriter did this part. Yeah,
So anyway, okay. So you have
Haven's horrible.
Haven,
We hate her.
Haven's now,
She's an immortal now.
yeah.
But she's like super immortal. Like everything happened like really quickly after like one little sippy sip.
And then
Like,
you have
okay.
Roman. Roman is also
The
an
antagonist.
immortal. Yeah, and then we have Jude.
Jude.
Jude is our. So you know how we have triangles? Jude is the other point of the triangle.
But
Yes.
this one's kind of a
Except for when
square.
Roman is. Roman's like
Yeah.
This one's kind of a square.
Yeah, but like to be fair, like it's kind of like a whoopsie-doodle non-consensual square.
Yeah,
But it's still a square.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just not counting it because
Well, but then there's Haven, so we're kind of actually like at a pentagram at this point.
Beautiful.
yeah. Okay, great. So now we have a crime map. Anyway, so I think that's our road so far. Probably it's our incoherent road so far. I don't think that was helpful.
Yeah, Roman doesn't
It's
like
feeling-
Damon because he was in love with Damon's late wife. And then Eva killed
Yeah.
her, so now he wants to ruin Eva's life, but also bang her.
Oh, also, Damon and What's Her Nuts can't touch.
Yes,
It's
Right.
snowing.
Really?
It's snowing at my house in South Carolina. Oh my goodness.
Yay!
I'm gonna
Oh my
check.
goodness. It might
'Cause
be
it was-
there. It was snowing at my
Well-
parents' house.
It's not snowing here because it is summer here,
It's
even though it
summer.
doesn't feel like summer because it has been
We are
raining for
getting
half
no
of it. It's cold and wet
precipitation.
today because we are in a La Nina, and that means that we have a cold, miserable, wet summer, except for when it's hot and wet. And
We are getting no precipitation right now.
but with
Well,
the
we
upside
have
is
snow.
the upside is that my tomatoes are still going okay, even though it's been a cold, miserable, wet summer.
Did you guys get snow last Sunday?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay, so we got snow last Sunday, and it
It's
stuck
our
around
turn.
for like a day.
It's our turn.
And something I discovered: if you like get a snowball and you toss it at my dog, he will catch them.
That's adorable.
It was really cute.
One
look.
thing, because I watch a lot of homesteading
I
YouTube
did.
because it's also really good to get like planting stuff because we're going to be growing a lot of food next year. And one of the channels that I watch, it's Roots and Refuge, and they just moved to one of the Carolinas. I don't know which one, but they moved to one of the Carolinas, and they're from Arkansas, which gets snow.
Yes.
And apparently, yeah, I think probably the like last weekend or something, the whole town apparently was like, oh, it's gonna snow, and everyone's like stocking up on like milk, eggs, everything, and then she's just like, but it's not even gonna stick if it snows. And then it didn't end up snowing.
Yep.
Or the snow melted the second it touched the ground, so everything was just like wet. And she's like, these people just are not used to snow.
Yeah.
Everyone was
Last
freaking out.
weekend, up where Christian's parents live, it stuck, and it was at least 4 inches of snow up there. But it was like a line. Like as soon as we drove past Greenville, like there was just nothing. So it was like snowy, 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 and then there was like a line, and then suddenly it was just green again, and I was like, okay, this is sad, but I accept.
Well, I mean, the thing about it here is like the danger is not necessarily whether or not the snow sticks, but it can get really icy and you can get pipe burst. So what you have to understand about the South, this is what a lot of people from the North don't get about it. So like, because like I still have Columbia Falls from when we went to Montana on my phone, like their weather. And if you compare like their weather to ours, in Montana right now, at least in that part of Montana, it's like 34 every day for like the past 3 weeks. And the lows in the mornings will be like 20 something. So you have a temperature difference during the day of like 10 degrees.
Like 10 degrees. Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it'll get into the teens, but that's not that, at least from what I'm looking at on my phone. When I look at it, that's not been typical. Here,
you can have a 40 or 50 degree change in one day.
Well, here it's not really 40 to 50 degrees, but it'll go from like 55 in the afternoon to like 20 at night. Or it'll be like, the teens to so like you have these 20 to 30 degree temperature differences all the time. And also it's much wetter here. So like the cold feels different. And like you just have no time to acclimate. So like and also
the fact that a lot of
freeze thaw cycle is a lot harsher here. Because it's happening like so fast. So
and a lot of the South also don't have the infrastructure for snow. Like that's why Texas got so fucked up when they had that big storm.
So when people say
Texas
like,
didn't build houses for snow.
Yeah. So when people are like, oh, this like Southerners complaining about cold, it's like, no, you don't get it. Like it's 15 degrees in the morning and 60 in the afternoon, and then it's gonna be 30 again tonight. Like my body has no time to acclimate to this. Like it doesn't. It's just confused. And so, yes, I am cold because if you have time to acclimate to like 30 degrees all the time, then like it's fine. But if you just don't, and also kind of like how humid makes hot more miserable, it also makes cold more miserable too.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
Because I think where I am has a pretty similar climate to around Atlanta. But the biggest difference
you guys get hotter in the summer, a lot hotter.
Okay. But we get pretty cold in winter. Although last winter was pretty mild, but that's also because of La Nina. Because we're in our second year of La Nina, and that's fun. But at least But I'm going to be complaining next summer when we get 45-degree days again, which I think is like 115. I think.
Yeah, we don't get that hot in the summer.
But then in a normal
is
winter,
more rare.
in a normal winter, we also get below zero overnight. If we were at a higher altitude, we would probably get snow. But
yeah. You guys are, but
like,
you
I'm
guys
just
are
above
about
sea
like
level.
us during. Yeah, so that's the difference too. Is like we are 1,000 feet or so above sea level.
Yeah, I think Atlanta itself is like 700 or 800.
Yeah.
I think that's the altitude of Atlanta.
Yeah, because like, I mean, Faye, you've been here. Like, I live right near a river that goes to sea, and like I'm probably about 30 meters above that, maybe 40.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's my altitude. So
Yeah.
it's not particularly high, which means so we don't get snow. The mountains do. The mountains get snow. But
anyways,
yes, book.
was that all of our
How did we
characters?
change it?
I mean, if we
That's
forgot anyone, then we'll just
yeah,
cover
it's
it.
fine.
when
Yeah,
we
let's
get there.
just talk about
That's
the
the
book,
twins.
'cause-
The twins.
Oh well,
James
who
loves
gives a
twins.
fuck about the twins? Who cares about the shining twins, man?
I can't. Just in case we forget when we get to that part of the book, I can't remember if there's any relevance to the guy that Ever meets in Summerland being like, oh well, like one of them's the stubborn, snarky one, and the other one's sweet. And
Oh, and
like,
it was
no, that's the
it was
opposite.
like the opposite. Mm-hmm.
And he's like, and he got all offended. I can't remember if there ends up being any relevance to that. Just so you are aware. I don't know if that ends up being relevant.
What was on your nails, by the way?
Bring Me the Teal, I think is what it's called, and then Solar Unicorn Skin.
Okay.
Hang on, I don't have any intact anymore. I've started picking at them. Not to flip you off, but
interesting.
And then it was matte.
To do that.
For Christmas, I got that whole unicorn skin collection I never bought. I got that for Christmas. And I was like, this is the one collection I don't have. So it was really good. Anyways, chapter 1. My first note
chapter
is
1.
fucking Haven.
Fug.
She says fug like 7 times in chapter 1. And I was like, I hate this. When did she start saying this?
I mean, I get you don't want to put swears in your YA novel, but don't try and cutesy the swears up. Just don't do it.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's telling Haven she's immortal and like, and Haven's like, dude, this is the best thing that could have ever happened. I'm so happy about this. Thank you so much, Ever. And then Haven reads her Ever's thoughts, and she's like, oh my gosh, so you and Damon actually do like talk to each other mentally? And Ever is like, yes, good to know you now have it. And then I think that's never relevant again. I don't think Haven ever reads
yeah, like which when you think about it, that should be kind of a big deal.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Kind of a huge deal.
Because Roman can't, can he? Read thoughts? But also the lore of like these people and their species is not well laid out at all. So it's like we don't actually know what the standard powers are.
I actually do not recall if Roman can or cannot.
Same.
I don't know. I do know it doesn't.
What are you trying to work it out?
Can Roman read thoughts?
Yeah.
Yes, they all can, but they have shields.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Well, because we were just saying like Haven does it, and then it's never relevant again.
Yeah, because she shielded as soon as she worked out Haven could.
Yeah. But she tells her the rules, and she's like, so Roman's bad. He tried to kill you, and he's bad. And Haven's like, well, I'm in love with him, so suck a dick. And
he wasn't gonna kill me. And if you were that concerned, why would you call the police? And she's like, because it was magic poison.
Yeah. And And Ever's like, I would suck a dick, but Roman made it so I literally cannot touch my boyfriend. 'Cause
So can
he's
you get
bitter.
the antidote, Haven, please?
Yes, yeah. And then she goes over to Damon's house, and this is when I remember that he adopted the Shining twins. And
Oh my, yeah. Sorry,
And
Haven
I
wants
just
to
remember
fuck
going through
Roman.
this part.
Haven wants to blink Roman. Because she like bound herself to him last book or the book before.
oh, you mean
Mhm.
Ever? Didn't you say?
Yeah,
did you
Ever
just say
did.
Haven? Oh,
Well,
I might have
Haven has
misheard.
bound
Sorry.
herself in a different way. But Ever's bound herself, so she's like, I'm obsessed with
Because
Roman. I just
yes, because
think
she
about him all
keeps
the time.
because the twins who are witches are like, hey, don't do the magic, yo. Like talk to us before you do any of the magic because the magic is weird and don't do it for selfish stuff because bad shit. And she's like, okay, I'm just gonna go off on my own and do magic by myself for selfish shit.
Right, she did.
Yeah.
This is sorry because I don't remember the end of the last book, so I was a little confused as to how this happened. She did the massive moon spell thing. That's what she did.
No, the moon spell. Okay, there's been a couple moon spells. The first moon spell was to go back in time and stuff.
Okay,
This
my
moon
God, the
spell.
totally pointless thing. Yeah.
Yeah, this moon spell was to bind Roman to her, so then that way he would just come to her and she could make him give her the antidote.
Yeah.
But because she did it. Also Hecate.
Yes.
The audiobook
yes,
says
correct.
Hecate as Hecate. And I couldn't. Every time the narrator said Hecate, I'm like, excuse you, it's Hecate. But
that's relevant again.
Yeah, so she did it on a dark moon, which meant she did it to Hecate instead of the goddess. And she used an athame that was too sharp, it was too like dark, and the twins were like, that's not a good athame to do a thing. And she's like, I don't care, I'm gonna do what I want. And so now she's bound to Roman instead of him being bound to her.
Yep. And which means she just wants to blink his socks off, basically.
And I think part of that
it's
is
a lot.
He wants her to want to. So I think that's part of where that's coming from.
Also,
she
though,
does a
real
little
quick,
bath
can
ritual.
Can we discuss?
No.
Okay. We can discuss lots of things.
If you're going to, so maybe this was writing advice from Book Club with Faye. Welcome. So if you're going to compose a novel for young adults, might I suggest straying away from this sort of thing? Because this is weird. Like,
what do you mean? It's perfectly normal.
It's weird because in this series we already have also these books like wind up listed in the children's section all the time because they're so poorly written. I assume
on Amazon. This is a children's book on Amazon.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: in these books, we already have Damon pressuring her to do boink. So we not only have that, but now we have her magically being sexually obsessed with someone she doesn't like. So like against, without her consent, wanting to boink someone else. Which all of that is uncomfy. And these are all things that like can be explored and dealt with in age appropriate media. Like that's fine. I'm not saying you that's impossible to write about. I mean, something that does this pretty well actually is Blood Promise in the Vampire Academy series. Because that's like when Rose is with Dimitri when he's all dark and bad and stuff. That's actually pretty gut-wrenching, but it's presented in a very different way. This is like everything else in this book, in the series, this is just presented in such a oddly floofy and lackadaisical manner. And it doesn't read as like at all age appropriate or anything like that. I don't know. It just
Especially like
it's a choice.
there's one scene in particular when she's made herself look like Trina, and
Oh my god, I know.
she's on her knees in front of him, and it starts to get it. And then thankfully Haven walks in and nips all that in the bud. But like, thank goodness for Haven just once.
One time that we say thank goodness for Haven, it's when she interrupts that weird interaction.
Yeah. Yeah. And none of this is ever really dealt with. Like, again, to contrast it to Blood Promise, where like the whole time that you're watching this thing with Rose and Dimitri, like it's just gut-wrenching. It's just completely gut-wrenching the entire time. And it feels icky the whole time because it's supposed to. You're supposed to feel super icky and whatever. It doesn't feel like teen drama or anything. It's not that kind of icky.
Yeah.
It feels.
They make it very clear
awful.
that there is nothing sexual occurring during that as well. Like they do, like because nothing. I think they make out a bit, but other than that, nothing beyond that occurs. But you also know though that these two characters actually are in love with each other as well.
Yeah,
so
but also it's more about Rose's like really drugged state. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all
and
weird.
less like unless like the sexual like undertone, unless like the forced sexual undertone, it's more like her drug state. But it still feels icky, and it's effectively done.
Oh, it does.
And it gets the point across. But yeah, here
handles that very well.
Yeah, but here it's handled so poorly, and especially for the age group, because there's different range. Like within young adult, you have like younger young adult, older young adult, like that sort of thing. This is definitely younger young adult, at least in the writing style. As far as the sexy stuff, yeah, honestly, it's all over the place as far as what age it's actually appropriate.
It really is,
because the writing makes it appropriate for no one, but realistically 13-year-olds. But the content,
at least in this one, the previous books not so much, but this one was definitely
the content makes me
aged up.
The content makes me say 15 to 16. And this one, it's just entirely inappropriate, I think, for young adult. Like, especially with how it's handled. I would say that maybe I would change my mind if it was handled competently. Because I'm not, I also don't want to say you can't throw hard things into young adult books. I don't really think that's true either. But I think it's different than if you're writing an adult book. In an adult book, I'm like, anything goes.
Yeah. For sure.
Because if you're an adult, you're an adult, you're reading at your own peril at that point. And you're an adult, you should be able to make that decision. But like when you're writing literature for teens,
it's a slippery slope.
Yeah. But this book, the dynamic with Roman gets really weird, and also
someone edited this and published it. Like, what the?
But don't worry though, she fights her way out of it with the strength of her heart and her soul and her spirit. It's fine.
I suppose.
Care Bear stare.
I mean, so she
I
takes a ritual bath. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There's actually really not a whole lot of. She keeps on trying to kill Jude.
That was
book.
Wild.
So last book, she throws Jude across
her backyard,
the outdoor pool, like hot tub area, because she saw that he had an old faded Ouroboros tattoo on. He has a tramp stamp, I believe. Yeah. I think it was a tramp stamp. Because also, ladies, dating advice for Book Club with Bay: if a guy has a standalone tramp stamp, he may not be the one.
I'm gonna tell Christian to get a tramp stamp so I can be like, I don't think we can get married anymore. Do it just like that.
There's just something about a tramp stamp on a guy. Like, I just can't.
Yeah, if it's a part of a bigger thing, that's one thing, but that's fair.
Maybe he's planning. Maybe he's
Dave's just sitting there really quietly. Does someone?
Does
know.
Noah have a tramp stamp?
No.
You were just sitting there very, very quietly for a minute there. But yeah, because also I still don't get it right. Like, okay, so Drina had an Ouroboros tattoo. So then Eva decided everyone that is evil has to have an Ouroboros tattoo or they can't be evil.
Yeah.
Well, and it was never actually established that, like, this is the super special symbol of our evil gang,
rogue.
or that there actually was an evil gang, because they were like, oh, they're rogue immortals, but like, what does that mean? Are they like working together?
But all the first book,
is this the Italian mafia? Like, what is it? Like,
yeah, because all the first book established was that Drina didn't like Eva cock blocking her. That was it. That was all that was established first book. But then we get to second book and she was like, is Roman another rogue? I don't see an Ouroboros tattoo. And it's just like, when did they become rogues and when was their symbol an Ouroboros? But now, because Jude has one, because guess what, Eva, that symbol has existed for I don't even know how long.
But also,
right?
why are these people
Outside
so
of
creative?
But yeah, so she breaks his arm by
also,
throwing him
like,
across the backyard.
Real quick, here's the thing. Usually when people are getting tattoos because they are associated and they are getting gang tattoos, like not gang tattoos, but like this sort of thing, and
Group
like
group tattoos.
They're group tats. A lot of times they'll put them in the same place.
Yes.
In this sort of situation, now in real life,
maybe
hold on,
maybe not.
In real life, no, but in fiction, usually.
Maybe she was inspired by like Lord of the Rings, because the actors who played the Fellowship they each got the same tattoo, but I think they got them in different spots. So maybe she was inspired by that.
Maybe, but I don't think she's that cultured.
Wow.
Harsh, babe. So harsh.
That is a little harsh.
God, that happened. I don't know. Okay, I don't know, but everyone who's evil has an Ouroboros tattoo. But we established this book that just because you have an Ouroboros tattoo does not mean you're evil.
Doesn't mean you're evil.
But she runs into Jude again somewhere at the beginning of this book, and she's like, I know you're evil. And he's like, but I'm not evil. And she's like, I can prove it. And she stabs him.
Yes.
Or gashes him.
So much so that he has to go to emergency surgery.
She cut him down to the bone.
It's incredible.
Like,
honestly,
it's just going to heal up. I know that your teeth is crooked because you kept them crooked on purpose. I'm like, how the fuck does... You have been bitchy for the last few books about how you just keep growing and this and thising and thatting and you can't stop it. How the fuck did so quote unquote immortal Jude stop his teeth from fixing?
But also, like, why would you just point out someone's crooked teeth? It's just not nice.
I know, that's mean. What if they're insecure about their teeth?
I don't think they're overly crooked. I just think they're like just not perfect. And she's like, he probably keeps them perfect on purpose to throw people off.
Real quick, we just need to repeat, like, and just emphasize. I just need to emphasize this, okay? She stabs him to the bone.
To the bone.
Yep.
She's broken this arm. She's broken this arm, And then she's like, you know what? You don't need either arm. So then she's like gashes this arm to the bone.
It
and
is.
so then,
It's
like
like
the rest of
it's,
the book, he's just walking around like double bandaged.
it's genuinely
Until
it's
he takes her to
iconic.
or she takes him to Summerland.
It is.
I
That's
can't
right.
open this.
Which
But-
are you?
Can I just also
I got
give
guava
some
and Seafoam
supernatural
I
advice?
have Seafoam Home on.
Pretty.
Sorry,
I
I
wanna get
have
it open.
Galactic over it.
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
put
give
everything
some-
over it.
Supernatural
Sorry.
advice from Book Club with Bay.
Yeah,
If you
supernatural
suspect
advice.
someone of being a supernatural being who can heal quickly and they're denying it, and you want to prove it, do not gash them. You give them a paper cut.
Yeah. Prick their
Because
finger. Like you're
if
giving
you
them
are
a little like
wrong-
blood test.
Like, even if you
yeah.
are wrong, like if she didn't get him to the hospital, he could have bled out because she
Well-
gashed him like she.
Because here's the thing: if you do that, you're already an asshole.
Which we already know she is.
But like, at
Like,
least
Because also, even if they do heal straight away, it still hurts. It's rude, right? But like, I understand as well that like a cut is probably the easiest way to determine if someone can heal quickly. But let's make it a little one. Let's prick their finger. Let's
Yeah, let's not
maybe
do
not
something
finger
that could
maybe
potentially
not
kill
finger prick
someone.
because those can stop bleeding pretty quickly on their own, and depending on how small the prick is, you might not be able to see it, so it can be misleading. But like maybe just like a little cut on like the side of their finger or something, just a little cut.
Like a
Or like
cat
a
scratch.
little-
Let's get a cat, and
Or-
the cat can just like dink.
Like, and I don't know why so many movies have people cutting the palms of their hands open. I cannot think
I
of a worse place to
know.
cut.
right? That's like it's an awful place to cut.
Like, I don't know who's
In
like,
the
oh,
show, I
let's just cut
pointed
the
out.
palm of back. No, awful. Like, if you also need to ever donate blood for a ritual, again, just prick your thumb and squeeze the blood out. It's fine. It's
Yep.
fine. If you don't want to do that, just give yourself a little nick right here, you know, because the arteries are over here. So just do it on the top of your arm and just like let a little drizzle happen. Okay, find a nice, safe place to cut.
If you're ever in a ritual situation where you
or
must
if you
give
are
blood,
ever trying to determine if someone has supernatural healing abilities.
Yeah.
Just a nice little safe cut. No gashes, no palm cuts. It's rude and it's painful.
no cutting someone to the literal bone and then taking them to the hospital and then being like, no, it was a work accident, I swear.
Like, I don't know how you function with a cut up palm. Because every time you go to use your hand,
It would scab over really weird.
And then-
yeah, like,
but then every time you
Yeah.
had to grab something, the scabs would tear open.
yep.
Ow! Please stop.
Anyways,
It just sounds like a bad
where
idea.
were we?
But yeah, she puts him in the
Oh.
hospital.
But first she does the bath ritual and she almost
That's right.
boinks Roman. And then yes, she cuts him, takes him to the hospital. The cops are there, and Jude's like, no, it's fine, nothing happened. And I wrote down, no, let's get her arrested. That'd be really funny. That'd be interesting. House and I did that, and it was pointless but hilarious nonetheless.
Yeah,
And
but
he's
using
like,
the
no,
exact
fuck you, I don't
same.
want to talk to you.
The weird thing in House of Night Right was she did the exact same thing in book 2
And didn't, yep.
and felt
Didn't give a shit.
and had zero shits to give that she probably just killed someone.
Yep.
And then they did that so many times in House of Night where they wrote the same scene again and it's like they forgot.
And it's a
But they
completely different
already did
reaction,
that.
yep.
Anyway, Dark Flame.
Reread your
So,
own
yeah.
books, friends.
So then she kind of like
She
her
tells
and
him
Jude have this-
everything. Well, not everything.
she tells him some, and he's just like, "This is still fucking weird." And please stop trying to kill me. Like I'm fragile.
I'm
Like,
just a boy.
Like now I've got 2 fucked up arms. Thanks, Eva. Like also like I think Eva has some severe anger management issues, and I suppose she works on them in this book because she heals her enemy with the power of love.
Care Burster.
Like somehow Because somehow,
And
even
then
though
June
every
just
time
comes in and murders him.
somehow every time she needs to heal someone, or every time she needs to murder someone, it's with the power of love. But she always assumes that it's a really good idea to like stab them. Weird. It's weird.
You know?
Yeah. So, not actually a whole lot happens this book. So there's her trying to
No, there's
bang
no
Roman
plot
half
in
the
this
book.
book.
Damon's confused. She also can't tell Damon.
For some reason. Because then she tells
The
him,
beast
but she's
won't
still
let
under
her.
the spell. But then she does when she's still under the...
But because the beast has gone to sleep for a bit, I guess. I don't know. It makes no sense, but whatever. She opens up to Jude a lot more. Like by the end, he knows everything. Haven's getting more and more like pissed off because she thinks that Eva and Damon are trying to keep her down, but then also she keeps walking in on Eva trying to bang Roman, aka her boyfriend.
She's like, bro, you already stole one man from me. Why? Don't steal another one. Which in that case, I can be Team Haven for once.
Yeah, I don't blame Haven for being like, why the fuck do you keep trying to bang my boyfriend?
Yeah, when it's like you have one, like stop.
Miles goes off to Italy for the summer because it's summer. He goes off to Italy for the summer. And he texts Eva, he calls Eva and sends us some pictures of an art gallery where there's like just all these portraits of Damon and Drina. And she's like, I guess we'll have a chitty chat when we get back. And they just and Ada comes back and she's like, lol, I'm sorry, I suck. I'm a better person now. I meditate.
And also I'm the twins' aunt.
Yes, their reincarnated aunt. So now they live with me. That's pretty much the plot up until the grand finale, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was as concise and like expedient as I think anyone.
Like, I mean, I just don't want to go through. I just don't want to go through every scene because they're all the same. There's like 3 scenes repeated this whole book.
And also Sabine, the entire time
Sabine finds out that Eva works as a psychic.
Oh, and she's like,
we're gonna have a chitty chat about this. And she's dating Eva's teacher,
but he's not her teacher anymore.
Only for the summer.
No, he got a job at her law firm.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so she's still pissed that she's dating him, but
there is one line though that did mildly amuse me because she comes home and Paul, I'm just going to call him Paul because I can't remember how to say his last name, but Paul
Munoz.
Yes, that. He's in the living room. He's barefoot because it's, Malibu or Orange County or whatever. Laguna, there we go. It's Laguna in summer.
And it's his girlfriend's house.
And it's his girlfriend's house. So he's barefoot and feet are up on a footrest. And Eva's like, just because they're dating doesn't mean I have to see faculty feet in my living room. And
yes.
I'm like, okay. I'm like, that did amuse me. There was one thing that amused me this whole book, and it was faculty feet.
Ever can sometimes be amusing. It's rare, but sometimes.
Yeah. So Ada tells Eva, like, look, your karma's all out of whack because you keep doing fucked up shit with magic. Now we need to meditate and be happy. And focus on happy, because the more you focus on grr when you do your magi-mag, things are going to go bad.
Yeah, and she's like, I never realized that she's obsessed with negativity. Which is good for her, I suppose. Acknowledge your obsession with negativity. She's like, I'm not obsessed with Roman. I'm obsessed with negativity. And I'm like, you're pretty obsessed with Roman too. But it's fine.
Yep. So then she's like, okay, I'm going to go and get the antidote with love. Because also she manages to see Roman's past. She sees Roman's past. Mummy died during childbirth. And he, of course, has a tragic past. Daddy was cranky cranks, beat the crap out of him until he ended up in an orphanage. He was the littlest one there. Everyone either ignored him, neglected him, or used him for slave labor because he was tiny. Yep. And then even when all the orphans got sick, Damon completely forgot about him and wasn't even going to give him any until Drina was like, no, the little one gets some too. So that's where his obsession with Drina started.
Yep.
So she goes there and she's like, I'll show you where Drina is, and I
So-
love you.
Well, first
and
she's like, yeah. She's
I
like,
love you."
Roman. And I'm like, you fucking what, mate? Okay.
I can't hate you anymore, so I've decided to just love you because you've never known love in
Yeah.
your sad, sad life.
And he's just like, he's like, I feel weird. And also, how do you know intimate things about my past?
And she's like, that doesn't matter, I love you. And he's like, excuse you. And she's like, no, I love you. I love you. I love you. Like, there was like about 20 I love yous in that scene.
And then she's like, come here. And so she's gonna take him to Drina, but Drina's like in her mind. So they like cuddle up on his bed. And they're like cuddled up on his bed. And so he's like, oh my god, Drina.
And they're
And then
mind-blowing.
Jude.
And then, yeah,
And
so
then
like,
fucking Jude.
because they made a deal. She was like, look, you're probably going to hate me after you see where Drina is, and you might change your mind, and that's fine. I will still love you.
I will
If
love
I show
you
you where
always.
she is, will you give me the antidote? And he's like, yes, it is in my front pocket as we speak. And yeah, it looks like he might be about to give her the antidote, like when they come back out of her head. But
As
then
they're
Jude,
cuddling on the bed.
yes, as they're cuddling on the bed. But then Jude comes in because he also knows what she's been going through with her wanting to bang it Roman this whole book.
And he also
So-
knows what chakras are and how to kill an immortal with a chakra. With a
Yes.
nice cunt punch.
So he walks in and sees them doing a snuggle struggle, and rips him off and punches him in his chakra. I can't remember which one.
I think it was a heart.
Oh, which? Let me find which.
Yeah,
chakra.
please find out.
Unfortunately, not the dick chakra.
I wish it. Someone better die. by
Okay,
dick
here we go.
chakras,
He's weakest.
obviously.
His sacral center. Okay, which one is the sacral center?
Your sacrum is your tailbone.
I'm pretty sure
So-
it is the. It might be the groin
Was
one.
it the penis chakra?
I am looking up the sacral center. Okay, give me a moment.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh.
Open. Thank you. Open image in new tab.
I mean, sacral center does sound a lot more classy than punched him in the balls.
Swift dick punch. Dead.
No. Wait. Oh
And
my
check,
god.
I went to
Yeah,
get
okay,
nail
no.
polish because Addie
Okay.
doing her nails made me want to do my nails.
So the groin one is the root chakra,
Ah, that's right.
which
'cause
is
dick root, that's
especially
right.
funny because root is a euphemism for boinky boink. At least here it is. Your spleen area is where your sacral center is.
Oh, so he got punched in
Unfortunate.
the spleen and died. That's really funny. Oh my god.
So,
Otto.
and that, so your
Green.
sacral center is sexuality and life.
Well,
I would have
Yeah,
thought his
so
heart chakra would have been his weakest one.
yeah.
Alas, no. It's
But anyways, Roman dies, and while Roman dies, he crushes the antidote that would make it so Ever could finally
well, he
get
poofs.
her metaphorical
He
dick
poofs.
wet.
Yeah, he poofs, and I don't know if during the pulling and the punching it breaks, or if the poof and then the shirt falls to the ground and splatters.
Yeah, it's
something.
still,
It breaks. And
so
Ever's like, "What
everyone's
did you
angry.
do, you fucking moron?"
She's like,
And he's
was
like, "I
so
thought I
close."
was helping you," and she's like, "You just don't want me to bang Damon." He's like, "No, I want it to be a fair fight," and she's like, "No, you already lost this fight. I love him. Fuck you. You destroyed everything." And then Haven walks in, and she sees Ever
And
holding
Haven's like, this is war.
this is well, bitch, and she's like, "Ah!" and then bookend.
Yeah, then there's a chapter of them like talking in Summerland, but I literally didn't write a single note for that chapter because it was so stupid.
Was it even relevant or important?
Nope.
I don't think so.
Oh, it's more or less just being like, Haven's mad, I know. But either way, we'll ride it out together. That's how it is with soulmates. That's just what they do. The end.
Oh, also, it was her birthday, this book.
Oh yeah, she turned 17. And Honor, her like bitchy girl Queen Bee's best friend was at her birthday party because she's been hanging out with Jude this summer.
Mm-hmm. Let's follow
Yes.
Honor instead of fucking Ever. Can we do that? Can we just switch MCs now?
It's so weird though, because like by the reviews and stuff, you know, if you actually look at it, people in some of the reviews act like Jude is a love interest, which
and he's.
I mean, for a
Okay,
fraction
so
of a second, I suppose.
He was a flirtation interest briefly, and the reason is because each reincarnation cycle, right? You've got your person that you end up meeting and falling in love with, and for Damon and Drina's lives, it was each other.
It was them. Yep.
And for Ever and Jude's lives, it was each other. Until Damon did a drinky drink and did an immortal, and then bumped into Ever one day and fucked it all up. So
And is now obsessed with
why-
her for the rest of his life.
Yeah, so Jude and Ever are drawn to each other because God knows how many reincarnation cycles they've gotten together. But
what was I?
that's
was
about it. They just have a bit of a drawn to each other thing. It's not like Ever's never really genuinely considered a relationship. She almost kissed him once and then broke his arm.
Mhm.
So she needs to stop putting him in hospital.
it's rude.
How is this? This has a 3.7 on Goodreads. I would not.
Oh, you know what? A big chunk of those probably came from like 10 years ago.
One from 12 years ago was 1
Yeah.
star, and it says, "How stupid."
Do not read the reviews for the last book until you have
I
read the
won't.
last book.
I won't.
Because if I am remembering correctly, at the end of this book, sorry, the next book, you're going to be like, where do we go from here? How is there another book? There will be another
Great.
book.
Okay, all of the top reviews for this book on the one that we just did are so funny.
Would you like to pull them up?
Yeah, hang on. I have them. They are waiting for mod approval. Oh my god, how about Ever? Anyone with half a brain would make better choices than her. Yep. I gotta wonder if anyone who rated this book 4 or 5 stars actually read it.
This book is so bad that I'm done with this series, yes.
By the time I hit the 3rd book, I felt
Oh!
like hitting my head against the wall over and over. Look, CJ, it's you with the 3rd book. Rage quitting.
Haven is an immature brat throughout this book and is grading. Ever couldn't do anything right to save her own life. She's no closer to breaking the curse for Damon. 0 plot advancement.
There is 0 plot advancement in this whole.
There was one. Well, I guess 2, 3. There's 3. One is, I think, minor, but it could be major depending on Miles's contribution in the future books. I can't remember what it is.
True.
But 1, he's like 95% in on the secret. 2,
yes.
Haven and Ever are now officially enemies. And 3, Roman's dead. That's it. That's all that happened in this book.
Yes.
Yeah, great.
Is a cat being naughty?
Yeah, Otto's trying to eat the couch. I don't know what's happening with him. Otto, stop it! If you want a stupid, hopeless heroine who couldn't do anything right and doesn't connect with the hero over multiple books, and these books for you are for you. For me, I am done. One simple expression, what the fuck? All of them are old though, like 2010, 2020, or 2010, 2012.
What the, oh,
Shelves.
I want to read
Maybe if
Hidden.
I was on LSD.
I want to read it.
Which one?
LSD. After attempting Dark Flame, I feel more worn out than anything. I made it about a third of the way through before giving up.
I don't know what prompted me to read this.
Maybe because I found it ironic that I only had Dark Flame out of the entire series. Maybe it was just sheer stupidity.
I apologize to myself for waiting 30 minutes of my life that I can never ever get back.
Oh, God.
Goodness.
I love 2010. Oh my god.
Maybe because I don't care about Damon, because I don't care about Ever or Damon. Yep, it's so true. In the first place, you didn't need to cut open half the arm, honey. Yes, exactly.
Yes.
It's usually common practice to give someone a little warning before you just lunge at them with a knife.
I will say, though, I would have to disagree. I don't think it is common practice to give warning before lunging at someone with a knife.
I don't think so either, but the point still stands. It was unnecessary.
It's not done in polite society, though.
It was not very cash money of her.
No.
So,
Shudders, it's all make believe. The elixir isn't real. Ever and Damon aren't real. They're both crazy idiots. Yep.
yeah.
Oh god, another love triangle. It's really a love pentagram at this point.
Yeah, it is. It's a pentagram.
Nothing likable about Damon. Accurate.
No, Lindsay's a dum-dum. You have taken a wonderful creation, Evermore, which is truly captivating, and you've ruined it by making a sequel. I'm sorry, she did not ruin Evermore.
Sequel.
Evermore was already garbage.
Evermore was so bad.
Ever misuses magic. Ever doesn't tell Damon.
Oh,
she
let's
fucked
play
up.
a little drinking game. Take a drink every time one of these.
No,
occurs.
I don't want to die. I'm pretty sure I'd be dead after the third, like just doing the first three.
Take a drink every time what? Oh.
All of these.
Okay, can you read them?
Ever misuses magic. Ever doesn't tell Damon she fucked up. Ever trying to dig her way out of the pile of shit she's created, ending up buried in even more shit. Ever whining that her Aunt Sabine doesn't understand her. Ever whining because the universe has been cock-blocking her and Damon for 400 years, give or take. Ever still drawn to June because YA books need a completely unnecessary love triangle. Ever tries to joke Roman's bones because thanks to no one ever many fuck-ups, she now has a pulsing yearning for him, also known as the Beast. Haven is a whiny bitch. You can probably get drunk just taking a shot every time that happens. Damon and Ever all sappy crappy. Damon forgives Ever at the blink of an eye for whatever mess she's gotten herself into. Nice and drunk? Good. I've come to the conclusion that maybe these books would be more bearable if I was drunk.
Look, I will say, because we could probably, that drinking game would probably still apply for the next book, right?
Probably.
Are we willing to risk hospital for the sake of science?
Okay, so fun story. Christian and I did a Star Wars Episode 3 drinking game.
No.
I was texting TJ the whole time, like giving her updates. I was like, so here's my recommendation. And at the end of it, I was like, we made it halfway through the movie and we were so gone. And I texted her and I was like, don't do this. Don't do this.
No.
Bad.
Like,
Oh my
I
God.
don't even know.
Well, you and I feel like you and I made an Attack on Titan drinking game.
Yes, but
And
the biggest
and you know
rule
what?
is just drink when thirsty. Basically, was
But
the
here's the
rule.
thing, though. No, that wasn't. That was most of the time. It wasn't. Because that was like a season 4 rule. Because it wasn't really applicable before then.
Aaron
But
and Levi. Aaron and
however,
Levi exist, so it was irrelevant. We'll tighten Aaron.
so anyway, but I feel like that one though, our rules, because we had to change them season by season. I feel like we got that. I feel like we got it to like a good pace.
Since I'm watching the second half of season 4 already that's coming out, I'm gonna create a drinking game. So far it's because you've read the manga, I'm just whenever Aaron gets stabbed, good one. That's a really good one.
Okay.
Aaron gets stabbed a lot in the first 2 episodes. Whenever he sounds like a dying turtle, that's another good one. He sounds like a dying turtle multiple times in the first 2 episodes. Anytime you're sad, because this is, you know how sad it's about to get.
Anytime you're sad, pour one out for the boys.
Yes, pour one out for Aaron. And Levi at this point, because Levi's not doing hot right now. I have to not say anything more though.
Yeah, I don't even need to know what the criteria for the Star Wars episode 3 was, because I can imagine.
One of the rules was when there was a meme, when a meme was said, we had to. It was so bad.
I can think of like 5 right now.
Lightsaber being drawn, and that included each one for General Grievous. Every time he pulled out one of his lightsabers, he had to take a drink, and he had like 4. So, anytime Sith was said, we had to do it.
That's too many rules.
Oh my gosh, we had to cut rules out because it got so bad. And we were still. Christian,
it was like Attack on Titan season 3, I think, because we also had subtitles on so that we wouldn't miss any. But we were like, anytime someone says humanity, because humanity gets.
Anytime anyone says humanity, Mikasa says Aaron.
Yes, which is all the time.
Aaron. Yes, Aaron.
But also, anytime Aaron says Mikasa, you chug, because it happens like 3 times throughout the whole series.
If we did a full series drinking game, if a chug would be the moment that Aaron realized he was in love with Mikasa, that would be a full.
That would be a shot.
You gotta finish it truly. You gotta drink the whole thing. Oh gosh. Attack on Titan Sundays are back. I'm so happy. Anyways,
well, we got
with many tangents. Mara blew through that book.
We're 2/3 of the way in. We're 2/3 of the way in the series.
Mm-hmm.
You have 2 books left. Somehow
we can do it. We can do it.
Can we?
I don't really
try. Can we? We can try.
After this, we'll do Covenant.
Okay.
Yes.
Jenny.
We will do Covenant. Oh God. We also need to do at some point Fallen.
Yes. Also,
and then maybe as a bonus, we'll watch the movie.
Crave? Is that the one that looks like the Twilight cover?
Yes. Do we want to do Crave or Covenant first?
Crave's only
$2
bucks, isn't it?
Let me. Who's
Tracy Wolf? Tracy Wolf.
I remember when this was a thing, because there is also another book series called Vampire Beach.
Oh my god!
They have similar covers too. They redid the covers for this.
There are 7 of them.
Okay,
only 3 of them are out, and then books 4, 5, 6, and 7 are expected to be published this year.
Okay, how about we do Covenant first?
Okay.
Just because then that way, if possible, we might be able to just get through that series without having to come back to it.
Mm-hmm.
There is the
4th one comes out February 1st.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do that.
There is another series as well. This one doesn't have audiobooks though. but it's not great, but it's kind of fun. At least last time I read it, it was it's one that I've thought of when you just mentioned, like when I saw the Crave cover. It's Vampire Beach. Let me bring that up.
Or
Vampire Beach.
Oh.
Beach. Vampire
Yeah.
Beach. So I haven't. It's got the original covers, but then once Twilight came out and everything, the covers were redone, and they were published. There's 6 books, but they were published when they redid the covers as like 2-book volumes.
Yeah.
And they did the black background with the red title and a white image with red on it. But Vampire Beach is okay. So the first book is Bloodlust, and it's Jason Freeman is stoked when his family relocates to exclusive DeVere Heights, Malibu. The in crowd at his posh new high school is surprisingly friendly. Soon Jason's hitting all the best parties. He even meets the token hot but unattainable girl. Determined to enjoy his almost postcard perfect new life, Jason. This also we have a male MC. Jason tries hard to ignore the many strange things going down in DeVere Heights, but then a girl washes up dead the morning after one off the hook party, and with no explanation but a suspicious-looking bite mark. Now Jason has to admit that what you don't want to know can hurt you.
Yeah,
That sounds like a train wreck. That sounds like a train wreck, and
it from memory, like I haven't read this book since like I was watching the OC. And it kind of has like OC vibes, you know, because it's beachy, rich California. But it's kind of fun from memory. But again, no audio book. You have to like read it.
Okay. Yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll try to finish this up, I think, as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Yes,
when do we want to do our next? Do we know?
When are you guys good?
If we wanted to do next Friday night, I will be able to, but it'll have to be about an hour, maybe an hour and a half later than we to start today.
Oh, that's fine with me. It's Friday.
Yeah, so like, because we were meant to start at 8. What did we say?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
I'm in a different time
8:30.
zone. Yeah. So maybe 1:30ish. I've just got an appointment at midday, which is 8 for you. And yeah, it'll just depend on.
That's fine with me. All right,
so be at my house. So
awesome.
Yeah,
if you're not dying.
So yeah, so that's what we'll do, and so we will see you guys. We will see you guys then. All right.